breaking news in the Kwame Kilpatrick corruption trial. A juror booted off the case after getting caught sleeping on the job. Yesterday, we told you about the dozing juror who caught the judge's attention. Let's head downtown to 7 Action News investigator Ross Jones with more on today's development. All right, Ross, we said this was probably a possibility yesterday.
Yes, indeed, Joanne. The sleeping juror is no more. She was kicked off this case, we learned this morning, after she had been falling asleep throughout this 7-day trial, off and on over the last week. Yesterday, it seemed like that was actually irritating the judge, and today, the first words out of the judge's mouth was that juror was going to be replaced. She was replaced with someone also of her race. She was white. The replacement is also white. So the racial makeup will stay the same in this jury. However, there will be one less woman and one more man. So the sleeping juror is no more on this jury. Let's get to today's developments. So far, we heard from 2 witnesses today, but the most interesting was a state official named Kelly Bartlett. In 2000, he worked for the state budget office. At the same time, Kwame Kilpatrick was a state representative. You'll recall from earlier testimony, it was Kilpatrick who advocated that state grant money go to 2 Detroit nonprofit groups. One was controlled by his friend Bobby Ferguson, another by a reverend. Both of those nonprofits ended up hiring Carlita Kilpatrick for a total of $140,000. Today, Bartlett recalled a phone call he received from Representative Kilpatrick in the spring of 2001, shortly after the grants had been awarded. He said he was startled by Kilpatrick's call and by his tone. He recalls Kilpatrick saying, quote, "Kelly, these groups are being nickeled and dimed by your people. They're being asked to account for every nickel and every dime in these grants." He said Kilpatrick sounded like he was a parent scolding a child. Bartlett said he told Kilpatrick the state had to account for this money and that they could be audited later on down the road. At that time, Bartlett said he did not know that Carlita Kilpatrick had already been paid more than $100,000 of that money, but he was made very uncomfortable by Kilpatrick's call, he said today. Now, Kilpatrick's lawyer, Jim Thomas, was very quick to argue that the representative at the time, Kwame Kilpatrick, was a very powerful leader in the state house, and he was simply trying to push for anything that might benefit his district, his community, and both of these nonprofits were based in Detroit and in his district. So his argument here, and I think one that we can expect the defense will try to make in the coming days, is that Kwame Kilpatrick wasn't trying to help himself. He was trying to help his district and do what legislators often do, bring home the bacon to their constituents through grants like this, through other sorts of funding. So that is the latest right now here at federal court. We are live blogging at WXYZ.com if you want to follow along with all the latest witness testimony. I'm Ross Jones reporting live at federal court. Joanne.
All right, Ross, thank you very much.